What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Lumsden Motorsports Garage. I'm Wade Lumsden, and today we're doing some more on the Tuff Truck. Let's get to work. Alright, lots of wind today. We're going to do what we can. I was really hoping to do some fabrication and welding, but in this wind, with a MIG welder, it's not very conducive. So I did go to Summit. Let me flip this around real quick. I did get some coolant line stuff. This little elbow, a 90 and 90. I think we're going to put this thing, set this deal to go up from there to there. Chink. I needed a spot because of all of that. I needed a spot for my coolant or my temp sender, which I think I'm gonna go down and get it out of the block. I got the adapter I need to do that from the side of the block, but I also need to put in the sending unit for my need to put in the sending unit for my fan to switch my fan on and off automatically, so the reason why I'm choosing to do what I'm doing here, this hose that I bought actually has two ports, but I put a thermostat in, so to know engine temperature because of the thermostat, I will need to have my temp sending unit in the engine somewhere, composed inside the engine pre-thermostat. Because if I put it outside, it won't start getting, like if I put it in that hose, if I put it in the hose up here, because the coolant flows in through your engine, up and out, right? Well, there's a bypass here, so the engine starts warming up. None of my sending units or anything would see that until the thermostat opens and starts letting coolant go by. So I want the sending unit in the block somewhere. Down there, it's probably going to read maybe 10 degrees higher than it would if it was up here, but at least that's just been my experience, is they read just a little bit higher when you do them out of the side of the block than when you do them out of the thermostat. I don't necessarily know why, but that's just kind of been my experience. So, gonna do that. Now I'm gonna put the ground to turn the fan on. I don't mind putting that after the thermostat, right? Because coolant is circulating inside the engine, and then wow, that wind is killing me here. And then it starts to let water go by, and that'll pick up the sensor, will pick up the temperature here, and that water is going to the radiator. So it works out, right? So the radiator will know that hot water is coming before it gets there. You know what I mean? So now if I did not put a thermostat in there, if I just put a restrictor, it's just an open hole, really it doesn't bypass to itself inside the engine, and it would be sending fluid, which is why it takes so long to warm the engines up when you do that, because now it has to warm up the entire system, and it's fighting a radiator that's cooling it off all at the same time, so it takes forever to get the engine warm. So I mean, this is my strategy, and then I'm gonna look at the lower hose. I only looked at the upper hose and bought parts for the upper hose. Once I'm done with that, I'll do the lower hose, and then I also U'd it, and you guys will see it when I'm done, but I U'd it to where it'll go over the throttle body right there with the red rag in it. And I know I hate doing this on my phone. It makes things go in focus, out of focus. Sorry, guys. So that I can bring a cold air intake or whatever tube out, and put an air cleaner on it. So yeah, it's dealing with clearance and all that other stuff. The other cool thing I'm going to do, I don't know if I already said it or not, but I'm going to leave this kind of like this. You'll see it in a second, but it'll be installed just at a little bit of an angle. But for the most part, this is pretty much going to be a high spot, which will make it to where I can bleed air out of the system right there. So that'll give me a nice high spot to bleed air out of the system, which, you know, is always a good thing to do. So air likes to gather in all of your weird high spots. I would like to say that it's all the air would always go to the absolute high spot of the radiator way back there, but you know, sometimes it gets trapped in bends and stuff like that. So another attempt there to try to help bleed my coolant system. So I'm going to do some work and I'll come back to you guys. Okay, wind is still gnarly. My brother's here. There you are. You were behind the pipe for a second. Yeah, he's so skinny. But I'm still going to be working on that coolant stuff over there. But Chris was coming originally today to do tunnel and stuff. We're going to do as much layout as we possibly can, and we'll probably have to weld on a day when there's no tornadoes.
Right. Yeah. The wind's not going to help it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but we got this held up kind of in place. We found a chunk of metal. I don't know where it went.
I got it back here.
Oh, he'll bring it up here. But I think what we're going to end up doing is this power trim. I think this gauge is going to get completely removed, and this is going to get cut right here. We're going to cut some clearance in there for the back of the gauges, and I think this bad boy is going to get mounted. Well, trying to do all this with no hands. I think this bad boy is going to get mounted somewhat like that. So Chris has designs of making that removable, to where it's got tabs on the bars here and it can be bolted on and bolted off, making the whole gauge cluster removable. So we're gonna keep doing that, and then I think if we can find the torch, I think we'll come down here and we're gonna bend this brake pedal to where it's over here to make room for a throttle pedal, since, you know,
somebody put an engine in.
I put an engine where the throttle pedal used to be. So we got to get this thing over here so that I can put a throttle pedal right here. So all right, we're gonna do some of that as we do some fun stuff. I'll try to video what I can. This wind is terrible for filming, but I wanted to show you. I took out it was a vacuum mile-an-hour gauge. Took it out of the center there. I trimmed off the side. You can see the chunk sitting over there. Coming over to this, I'm just doing it with this nifty little show. And I'm going to trim this over here somewhere. Turn that into a smaller little panel, kind of like that. Easier to mount and all that jazz. So, man, with this one, trying to get any filming done, so I'm just going to try to give you as many updates as I can. Alright, so let me show you this. This is so we're going to use this yellow piece of steel we found to go across here, and then we're going to mount the gauge panel to it. But Chris is clearancing for the back of the gauges and where that's going to mount onto this thing. We took the gauge that I undid. We have the collar for it. It's around each one of those. He can use that. He marked where each one of the gauges were. That's that in blue. And now he can use that to mark where we need to cut, drill, whatever we're going to do to make space across here to make it to where it'll mount. Is that about a good summary?
Yeah, it's about it.
Okay. And we're going to use the mile per hour gauge that I pulled out for the RPM gauge that's the same size. So I say RPM gauge, the tachometer. We're very technical around here.
Yeah.
Very. All right. And then, like I said, I used that cool little plastic thing. I cut my little panels here, and I cut the end of that other panel. We kind of stopped doing radiator coolant stuff, so while Chris is doing that and working on that, I'm going to go back and finish putting in my where all my sensors and stuff are going to go for my coolant stuff. So making headway here. I just wish I'm going to complain about the wind probably 1,000 more times in this video. Alrighty guys, not sure where I last left you, but I got a couple updates. So we have the gauges mounted on our yellow bar here. I think we're going to be pretty good. We're going to take a piece of angle and mount it off of here and then make it to where it bolts, so that whole gauge panel and stuff can come off fairly easy. And then I shoved the tunnel back in here, or me and Tiss shoved the tunnel back in here, and of course it had a whole lot more metal on it, like all of that it had on it on both sides. We were just kind of getting an idea, and we're like, oh man, it's not really going to fit the way we wanted it to. We were really hoping this was going to be right up against here, but it's going to have to be set back. I did some rough cuts. I cut off this right here, just to help get it to set down so we can do a little bit more detailed work. You can tell it was like way in the way running into the seat mount over there, just so we can get a little bit better idea. So that's the dash, all of that happy stuff. What else? The coolant system theoretically is done. I have to fix my ground here for my fan. It works if I jump the switch. I'm gonna go around to the other side because I can get a better view. But if I jump from the sending unit, the switch, straight to power, the fan comes on, so it's still working. So as long as that sending unit right there still works, we're in business. So added the new hoses and just jumped right over, and then yeah, we should be fairly good there. So this unit on the other side, the side that went to the water pump, so it used to come out around my metal bend over and then in this side. I was able to use all my old hoses. This isn't exactly the way I wanted to do it, but unfortunately I can't find the hose that I want to use, or at least I can't find it in time. I found it, but it wouldn't be here until, like 2 weeks after when I want to run this truck. So I did some beat to fit, paint to match. I took the pipe that was here, I cut some sections out of it. I was able to reuse that hose that was the bottom hose into the water pump before. It's 1 3/4 inches on this end and then 1.5 inches on this end, but I trimmed it. I had to trim some off of it to shorten it up to make it fit, and then I cut a straight piece, and so there's a straight piece of pipe in there. I don't know if you can see it in between the tubes, but there's a straight piece of pipe in there to there, and then luckily this thing was just long enough to loop around and hook up, so I think that'll be okay. The last piece was a plug. I just need to plug in the block, and I could fill this thing full of coolant. But what I'm going to do is, this system has been sitting dry and open for a while, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it open. I'm going to flush it out with a hose just to try to get it as clean as I can before I hook it all up and fill it up. So lots of progress. Oh, the other thing, sending unit for my gauge cluster for temperature. I ran the new wire down to the side of the block. Yeah, we're making forward momentum, but still have a lot of work to do. I'll catch back up. Alrighty, new day, but I forgot to
do a sign off before I left the other night. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Any questions, comments, concerns, put them down below. Brother's not here, so keep the dirty side down. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.